I'll read and share about Galactic Ashley. I am Galactic Ashley. I am a plant medicine integration guide, Galactic Channel, and psychic intuitive artist, and a dragon. I work as a professional channel coach and spiritual guide, helping others forge meaningful connections with the divine. My greatest joy is in supporting seekers ready to commit to their journey of healing and growth and desire to live their unique path. I offer this through entheogenic and spiritual integration, coaching, channeling, light language, mentorship, telepathy, and support for parents, biannual courses, and personalized one-on-one channels and sessions. Welcome, Galactic Ashley. We are so glad you are here. And I don't see her.
Here, I'll talk. I don't know if
oh, there you are. Okay, you'll hear. Well, speak, madame. You are on. The stage is yours.
And then just to double check, it's 30 minutes? 40?
45.
45, okay.
45. Oh, whatever comes through.
You have 45 minutes and sometimes an hour. If people aren't asking questions, we've been letting people go right up to their, at 59 minutes. So you can wrap it up however you like, however it's flowing.
All right, great. Also,
we'll give you warnings, and if you want us to ask questions or let you know if we see anything, we'll tune in with you as you go. Okay?
Sure. Also, that's really awesome. I was listening to Luna, and I was like, "Woo, fun!"
Yeah.
So one of the things
can you turn up your volume?
Is it really low? I don't know why that's.
Sometimes if you just go into settings to audio, it sometimes will turn itself down. We've been noticing that about Zoom. It did it to me today, so just settings, audio, and then check your lower mic position. Usually it just needs to be turned up.
Oh, you know what? My microphone is not even registering my microphone.
It's not on.
I know Ashley sounds a whole lot louder than she's coming across.
I know her. She's much louder than it.
Really
quiet. I totally am. Okay, so while I'm doing this, one of the things that was coming through, I'll just get close to my computer, is that while I'm going to do a transmission and an activation, that if anybody has a dragon skull or a crystal that they know is a dragon, to go grab your dragon crystal or dragon skulls and bring them here so that they can also receive some juice.
I picked a bunch of them up out of my room before the last speaker and brought them here. One of my favorite ones is this honey calcite. I think it's a dragon head, and it's beautiful.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm so sorry.
No worries. You get yourself plugged in there, and we'll get you going. We are getting ready. Galactic Ashley is plugging herself in here. If any of you are joining us. Woohoo! And thank you for everyone who's here live with us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging in. What a great day we're having. All right. Gather your crystals. Galactic Ashley says if you have crystal skulls or crystals that are dragons, bring them around for her activation she's about to share. So bring your crystals.
Is that better?
Speak.
La la la, testing, testing. No, it's not. It's not really, is it? Input volume is up really high.
Maybe you're going to be asked to just use your breath and speak. Oh, there you go. That sounds louder.
Is that louder?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Weird. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and connect to the dragons of discernment. Are gonna come in. The dragons often work with me and talk about our sort of full-time job as humans being that of discernment, remembering that discernment comes from the heart while judgment comes from the mind. And I think oftentimes as humans, we can slip into judgment, specifically judgment about ourselves. Also, one thing that I would like to do is invite people to maybe put in the chat if they have any questions so that I can just quickly glance at them and sort of scoop up the energy before we go in case something would like to be responded to, whether it's about the energies that are going on in general right now or directly related to discernment. So while we're waiting for any questions to come through, what could be beneficial as we go into this is to think about what you have going on in your life, where you are maybe doubting yourself, where you are maybe lacking in trust of yourself, because oftentimes it's when we're not trusting ourselves or having faith in ourselves that we start to question our own choices. And so this is where discernment can be really beneficial and helpful. Also, while like I know I see a lot of things online, like, is that AI or is that real? Like, that's only like a really tiny part of what I'm talking about. That is a thing, it exists. Like, do we care? Maybe eventually, but there's a lot more reasons as to why being able to dial in one's discernment and to fine tune one's ability to trust oneself as we are moving through challenging times is really beneficial. And even those of us who've like been doing this for a while, then we're just basically expanding our edges, and we will still be challenged with our egos will still be a challenge. Our egos will still be challenged. Our discernment will always be challenged. And to me, that is growth, right? Like, this is all part of growth, expansion, and challenge. Like, they all kind of like go hand in hand. Okay, that's good. So stepping into creating new work from my own path, lacking a little faith that I will be physically be able to support. Yeah, so that's really good. Whenever we're embarking on any sort of creative energy, and the dragons are always, I think Luna had mentioned this, and I'm sure everybody else before me, creativity and dragons are like synonymous. And they are always constantly reminding us that we are the creators and the created ones. And even for those of you that identify as a dragon and are here to embody your dragon self, whatever that means to you, we still have these human bodies that still need to sleep and eat and sort of take care of themselves. So I am also a creator and an artist and a photographer, and I constantly have tons of ideas that are coming through me, and I want to do them all at once, and I cannot do them all at once because I'm only one. I'm only one right now. And so it's really beneficial. What I have learned is to look at the projects that I would like to start and then see which ones I have the sacral power to actually sustain. And then for longer projects, it's really beneficial to maybe join a community or to get into a mastermind group so that you have accountability so that you can keep going. And I'm saying this as somebody who also who is like neurodivergent too. So I know that for myself, accountability and having community is really beneficial. And then speaking the things that you would like to do out loud, because the power of our voice and our throat chakra, and when we say things out into the matrix, into the world, this is like the first step to manifesting them. Paying attention to who you're speaking these truths to, and also being kind to yourself if you start on the project and then it kind of like dwindles out, right? So as somebody who has worked like very intensely, like within the art realm, kind of like more in my history, what we used to do is keep studio notebooks. So a notebook that you keep in your studio, because oftentimes when we're opening our channel to creativity and to the creative world, that means that more information can be coming in. And when that happens, all you need to do is you don't drop everything. You need to like write it down and then just go back and visit it and keep writing it down. And anytime you're walking around in the world, like use your phones or whatever. But I like to actually put a pen on the paper and little notebooks and just have like a studio notebook all the time where I'm just writing down all of the creative ideas that are flowing through me, because this is part of every single human's gift, is that spirit is seeking to move through us, and we are the only people that can create in a particular way that is coming through our own energy signature. And when we are working with dragons, or we are a dragon, they do, Luna mentioned this, they do like action, right? And so sometimes ideas come in and it feels like it has to happen exactly this second. But if you just got a download last week and that download needs to happen exactly this second and it's not done, then it's okay that it kind of gets stacked up, because one, we need to integrate, two, we need to start taking some, what I like to call, inspirited action. And then three, like there's still, since, being here on this planet 24 hours in a day still, and we can only do so much. And then many of us have families and life. And what I do see that happens a lot with people is that they can get really frustrated with regular life that's happening. And regular life is a part of our life. And in my opinion, we are living ceremony. There is no difference between being in meditation and being in life, being in ceremony, being in life, because it's all ultimately the same thing. And anytime we're holding space or being in these spaces, we have to be able to like integrate these worlds and bring them together. And anytime we are working with acts of creation, and the dragons are always really, really big on this, it is the quickest way to get into alignment and to re-find ourselves. So if we get lost, if we get kind of caught in waves of grief, which is fine and normal, or if we're angry, or we just feel out of sorts, if we can just sit and do something creative. And what's creative for you might be brainstorming and helping somebody with their business marketing. It might be photography. It might be painting. It might be singing. It might be gardening. It might be doing something with your children. So really allowing yourself to actually open yourself to what you think creativity is, because your zone of genius for creativity might not be what someone else's is, and it might not be any sort of like I don't know, hard arts, like hard sciences. I don't know what you call it, like the quintessential art things that we have going on. Okay, so we got a lot of questions about faith. Okay. And then the other thing that I also want to just throw in there is I have a Patreon community, and it's patreon.com/Galactic Ashley. It's free, and then there's paid tiers. And I do energy updates every month, and then those are free. And if you want more than that, then you can join for $5 and then get the rest of it. And it's dragons every month, all the time. They're always there. And it's also plants and crystals. So for those of you that love plants and crystals, then come hang out with us. And then if you're here and you're listening, I'm also looking for a guest speaker every month, because I also offer that. So if you'd like to be a guest speaker, please let me know, because we are all sacred looping and sacred weaving together. And I love this community. All right. So let's go ahead and go in and see what is happening. Have all the planning done, yet feel called to follow. Internal integration. Okay. All right. Okay. So, sorry, Anna, when you are saying inner healing, you mean your own personal work, and that feels like your full-time calling? Okay.
She says it's her business. It's about her business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She says, I'm starting a new business called Vibrant Hearts.
Yeah.
It's a huge leap of faith. To look at inner healing as my full-time calling.
Other people.
So about her being, I think, of service. Yeah. Trusting herself in service. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's totally
Lovely.
terrifying. All right.
Okay.
So get your crystals out and get yourself comfortable. You can lay down or just do whatever you want. Just do whatever you want, whatever feels good. Okay, 3:15. Excuse me, I'm just gonna clear some energy out of this space. Burping in everyone's face. Okay, so with every breath that we take, we find our hearts expanding. And with each expansion, we find ourselves being drawn into the center of the new earth, the earth that always was, is, and will be, the earth that we know her to be. We're going to call in the ultraviolet dragon beings to draw a flaming circle of light around us. And as such, we are calling in each of our own dragon guides, those beings that are part of our soul's guidance system, that are part of our DNA. And we invite them in to stand with you, to emerge from you, to come through you, to stand behind you. And we, of course, also invite in your ascended ancestors, remembering that every single time that we work with our ascended ancestors, we are being reminded of our own resiliency, because there is nothing that we are facing in this moment, in this time, that our ancestors, our anticipatory histories, our ancient future has not already gone through. And so when we are moving through challenging times, whether it is that we are struggling with knowing how to faith within ourselves, we like to think of the term faith as faithing. Allow it to be a verb that moves through you, where each and every day you are participating and partaking in an act of faith. How are you able to faith within yourself, to trust yourself? And sometimes this can be beneficial to take small steps where we are trusting ourselves little by little to do something that just feels a little bit scary, so that we can widen our window of tolerance, so that we can be able to work with our central nervous system, so that we can experience ourselves, so that we aren't biting off something that is so huge that if we fall, that we are cutting or severing our body parts, but that we were actually falling on something like grass, so that we might get skinned knees or grass stains, and that through this practice, we can begin to expand and we can begin to take these giant leaps of faith. And some of you are ready to take these giant leaps of faith. You must, in many cases, it is as if you are sprinting off of a cliff, and that you begin to jump and soar, and remember that you have one of those like squirrel outfits on, and that you can actually soar in the wind, and that you will be caught. Part of what we are going through these challenging times, through these shifts, through these, for many of you, initiatory experiences, comes down into you trusting your own divine self, you trusting your own divinity, your own codes that are being ready to activate inside of you. And the best thing that we can do for ourselves is actually to connect to the earth, to be in direct alignment with this planet, with this core of this earth, remembering that our bodies are also of the earth. And the more grounded that we can be, the more that we can embody our dragon selves. And while this feels and sounds quite opposite, when we are in our bodies, the energy can move through us, move into the core of the planet, and the core of the planet can speak back to our bodies and speak back through us, so that these energetics can actually roll through our heart field, and it can amplify our Taurus field, and the energy can start moving through us. And the more that we begin to heal ourselves, these frequencies then go out into our environment. And that anyone that is ready to receive, that is ready to choose, that is ready to make a choice for themselves in their own sovereign power can actually receive activations from our own energy field. We're calling in our cosmic octave. This is the unique orchestra that is designed through our bones of light. Every bone in our body is made of a crystalline structure, as is our blood, as is our cellular system. Remembering that we are water beings, that this is a water planet. And as we are blessing our own selves, our own bodies, we are also blessing the Earth's water body, because there truly is no separation between our physical structures and the physical structure of this planet. As a culture, we have to be taught the language of dissent. That is the great language of religion. It teaches us to enter willingly, trustingly into the dark periods of life. These dark periods are our greatest teachers. We must remember that dissent is necessary as it is inseparable from ascent. To descend is not wrong, it is not shameful, it is not a sign of your brokenness, and oftentimes it is required. We need to empower ourselves with the language of dissension in many ways. This has been written out of our scriptures and ancient texts, but like all things, the holographic geography and original architecture is alive and well through the beauty of the aesthetic force. The aesthetic force is the energetics that you bring to any situation. It is the energy behind the transmissions. It is the energy behind the beauty that you touch, that you create as both the creators and the created ones. The aesthetic force is the energy that actually shifts you into making inspirited action. And as we do this, we begin to have more faith in ourselves. We need to give ourselves the gift of freely speaking of darkness from a compassionate heart, while remembering the wisdom of heightened discernment of gradations, while openly accepting all of it in divine neutrality. Feeling the energy of divine neutrality as it comes in your being in this moment. To feel it as it enters into the mind, as it moves down the occipital lobe, as it enters directly into the heart, where whether you have or whether you have not, you are not attached to anything. And from this space, you can make choice. From this space, you can feel your most empowered and powerful self. And to feel the energies move through you in a way that you feel grounded. That whether you have or whether you have not really changes nothing for you. And it is through this lack of attachment that you can discern with just clarity, with sharpness, where you have the skill of the sword. Even if you have no love of the sword, you have the skill of the sword. And you can make choices from a loving place, even for the good of all. We are talking about the kind of deeply pigmented darkness, obstructed and abstracted out of pure and complete opaqueness, completely saturated within the depth, the profundity of by complete absence of the divine. This is true darkness that is fully opaqueness. It is where it is so dark that the shadows cannot even exist, as shadows oftentimes remind us that there is light that is around, and when we can enter in this complete blackness, we know that we have actually touched the divine. Your ability to step into your power, your divinity, to remember your authentic self, to direct your energy lies in your willingness to enter into places of soul inquiry, where you can access and enter into the dark questions while releasing the need to know the answers. Soul inquiry is simply just curiosity, allowing your consciousness to be curious, to ask questions. When we believe ourselves to be blinded by the darkness, it's because we believe that the answers are the way out, when oftentimes living with the unanswered questions is one of our most powerful states of being, because it keeps us open, it keeps us curious, it keeps us in a place of allowance where we are actually allowing the lights to move through us, to shift through us. This is a time to ask yourself where you are trying to control a situation. Oftentimes we like to try and change events in order to avoid changing ourselves. Where do you find yourself holding on to something unnecessarily? Maybe this is something that is old. As we are gathered in this circle together, see each one of your dragon beings, these pieces of you, this part of you come and allow this flame to just light this grand fire in the center of this circle. A multi-dimensional fire that is not just the fire that we know it to be, but it can be ultraviolet, it can have blue hues, it can burn so hot, so bright, but it's not angry, it's welcoming, it's knowing, and it holds within it the connection to the grand central sun and the solar grid and the solar power and the solar flames, because all of these solar logos energies are also seeking to merge through us. And the parts of you that keep you in fear, where you are experiencing frequencies of fear, where you are experiencing doubt, allow yourself, whether you want to physically just through your breath leave that which you have been carrying around on your back, in your chest, in your body, and give it to the sacred stones, to the fire. doubt, the not enoughs.
Each one of your crystals to take in these active
vibrations. We bring in the holy fire both into your own bodies and into the bodies of these crystals. And that which you are not able to integrate today, we understand that today is a long day of a lot of activations and transmissions. We ask that these beautiful record keepers can take that into their systems, and that when you are ready, you can share in the information. Feel the holy fire run over your bodies, the dragon's breath, the sacred flame of source. As the dragons breathe, they are always breathing direct source light, direct source flame over the entirety of your being, through your blood, through your body. Feels like the ancestors that are here, the ascended ones that are with you, the ancient ones. These are the ones that remember and have dragon lineage in their own bloodlines, reminding you of your own dragon lineages, that this is not new, that this is always remembered, it has just been forgotten. You have always known, some of you are coming back into the memory, but these memories have never left your bodies. All histories are accounted for in your blood. And our histories are our birthrights to be able to remember, so that we can actually accept and transmute. This is our great to feel the bones that hold us up and the sounds of their own crystallinity, to feel the clarity of mind, heart, spirit, and to feel your bodies, because doubt does not live here. Faith lives here. Trust lives here. We are always in a trust ceremony. Showing up is all that we ever have to do in any situation, and showing up in whatever way that we can, and remembering that we are enough and that that is enough. And so with that, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we love you, we love you. As I heal, you heal. As you heal, I heal. For I am you, you are me, and we are one. And if anybody would like to share and unmute themselves, I'm okay with that.
Debbie, are you wanting to share something, or maybe that was just
I think
somebody?
that's an accident. It's okay. It's a
Okay.
joyful accident.
Wasn't sure. All right. Anybody want to come on and share?
I know, I was just about to say somebody's volume's really low.
I pulled my computer top down and it disconnected me. I just had to come back on. Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Beautiful. That was lovely. Thank you. That was powerful, Debbie. Deborah says, yes. Brilliant. Somebody said, freaking brilliant. Thank you. All right. Everyone dropping in right now, just finding your hearts, connecting, grounding in here, integrating that.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to share, or if you want to continue, it's still your hour. Keep it going.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to. I like trying to be better at leaving share time.
I hear that.
Yeah, or if anybody has any other questions, it really helps me to just have questions, I think.
Somebody said they started coughing a lot in the beginning.
Yeah. So,
Releasing. Got a
I
bug
mean,
in
yeah,
their left. Are you reading that?
yeah. I have it up. I can
Okay.
do that. I think I'm a big fan of. I cough a lot, not as much as I used to, but anytime that we're talking about voice, to me, voice is an expression of self. It doesn't actually have to actually leave our throat, right? So anytime we're coughing, a lot of times it can be just clearing energy, and clearing our own energy field, or opening our throats, or making just room for expression. Even if, like, I could start like dancing, right? And I'm not using my throat at all, but I'm still communicating. So I think it's beautiful. I'm a big fan of coughing. Okay. I don't know what your name is, but it says user, so I'm just going to go user.
Yeah, it's something you said. Can you hear me?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right, it's something you said about not having the answers. Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the God, the dragons always say this. Living with unanswered questions is one of the most powerful spaces that we can allow ourselves to basically stand in.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that very thing today. Because do you know what the Sri Yantra is?
Yes.
The
Hmm.
very complicated
Yeah.
triangles.
Yes. Hmm.
So I was listening to a guy talking yesterday who's an expert in what they call Sri Vidya,
Uh-huh.
which is do you know that like it's to do with the 10 goddesses called Dasha Mahavidya, which is
No, go
yeah,
ahead.
a lot of people in the West know some of the Indian goddesses, but there's a whole thing called the other 10. And anyway, so his point was that like in that tradition, they don't talk about, how the universe was started, and they're not so interested in what's called moksha in India, which is liberation from the cycle of birth and death. He says it's more about connection, like while you're here, you know. And I think I've spent a lot of my life trying to answer, the bigger questions, and like I was really gratified to hear him say, no, that's not what this yantra is about. It's about being here now. So I like that thing about unanswered questions because there's some questions that you're not going to answer, really, are you?
But it's a good practice. I find it's a good practice. It's like a good practice of training the consciousness, in my experience, of like training the self to connect to the consciousness, to send out the questions. And it's like we can bypass our mind and like let the questions filled with curiosity come out of our bodies, and then not be attached to the answer that we must have, because sometimes it's an experience we need to have that's not going to just get dropped in. So
Yeah.
I personally think that practicing the art of asking the questions without attachment to receiving anything, but not, and being okay with not having the questions answered, because I'm pretty sure, like, I know that when I transition out of this body, I'm going to look back and be like, I can't believe I translated that vibration into that language, because could have done better.
Right. Yeah.
Or something. But yeah, it's beautiful. Now I'm gonna go look at that after. As soon as we get off here, I'm gonna go look at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I enjoyed it, especially, putting stuff in the fire. That was very helpful as well.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you. Anybody else want to share? So, and so I'm reading something that Liz wrote in there. A lot of times, and this has been my experience, I am somebody, I actually don't hear out of my right ear because I had a tumor that started growing in my my surgeries were in my 20s, but the tumor started growing ahead of time. It ended up being benign, but it was really, really aggressive. So I don't hear in the physical out of the right side of my head. And so what the beings have taught, and what I end up doing a lot of activations on, not today, is remembering that our ears, nose, and throat are connected. So sometimes if we're having ear stuff, it can be an imbalance in our vision, and also third eye, right? And in both the hearing and the speaking. So Liz, I am not, just so that you know, I'm clear, I am not like psychically tuning into your energy right now or anything. I'm just sort of speaking in general for everyone that is here. For these are just things that I think are valuable to think about. When we have throat things that are coming up, sometimes we're being asked to listen more. And so one of the things I always ask myself, like, a long time ago, the dragons specifically said, like, you will be a more powerful, like, we have to release the need to be heard to actually activate our channels to come in. Because if I'm just up here talking just because I have childhood wounding where I was never heard, that's not really that beneficial. But if I can like fully release the need to be heard and just trust that whoever hears is meant to hear it, and it's not about me, which is my favorite message ever. Like, none of this is about me, and that is the best. I still have to be responsible for the things that come out of me, but it's not about me. And so when we start balancing vision, third eye, ears, and throat, like the ears, the nose, like, so if there's sinus stuff, the ears, nose, and the throat are like operating in sort of union and unison, and then we're in the head area, so headaches, migraines, all of these things, and sort of third eye stuff is really interesting. But a lot of times when people are trying to work through throat energies, I will often work in the ears a lot. And, you know, it's beneficial to think like back into early childhood. Was there a lot of strep throat? Do you still have your tonsils? And just thinking about sore throats and things that are coming up. Because I used to, especially in grad school, I would get sick a lot. It would always happen at the end of a semester. I would like full on just lose my voice. And I don't have that much stuff anymore, like the physical things. I'm not saying I don't have voice or throat stuff, because I totally do. I will always have stuff, probably. For a while, we all will, right? And then there'll be more of it, and it'll be great. Yeah, that's beautiful. And the other thing that I like to do, talking about, like, this is my favorite thing. I teach a lot of what I just call soul inquiry, but it's like the art of question asking, is because the dragons always say that, like, you have to, they can meet you where your consciousness is at, but giving you more information than that doesn't really help you. So when we can get, I want to say better, but it's not about being smarter and asking the questions. It's about, there's a difference. This is the example I always use. There's a difference between what the hell is wrong with me as a question versus I really wonder what's going on with my throat today, right? Like, so really paying attention to the frequency that is backing the question and the curiosity that we have. And then when we ask questions, then we can actually be met at the level that our consciousness is asking the question. And what I like to do is I like to ask a question or a couple, or sometimes I'll just sit there and literally write pages and pages of questions and just leave it, and then wait a week and see kind of what showed up. Because a lot of times the answers will actually come, not even answers. I don't like to use the term answers. The dragons like to call it guidance, because guidance can shift and change, as we are always shifting and changing, and answers feels like there's only one. And it's also okay to ask the same question multiple times. And like maybe you catch yourself feeling really joyful and you have a question about the divorce or something that you're going through. All of a sudden ask the question from that frequency and sort of play around with it. But what's fun is that when you ask the questions, things will show up on a billboard. This happened to me once. I was driving and I was just talking to psilocybin consciousness because I just had a question, because it's not a plant medicine that like I work really intensely with. And I was like, what is the purpose of you guys? And I look up and it was a dental ad, but it literally said in giant letters, implanting happiness. And I was like, oh, okay, right? And so then I just kept driving. And that is the joy of like interacting in the day. Like I was driving to Portland or something, like in Oregon. It wasn't like a, huge thing. But again, curious, didn't really, nothing could have happened. It wasn't going to ruin my day. It's just like, do. And then the response like came. And sometimes some of you will just realize that you ask a question, and then before you're even done with the question, the answer is already the guidance is already like dropped in, and that's the best, right? And then you can just start shifting into like telepathy mode. But yeah, and requesting, responses more than once. And maybe if you're somebody that works with different beings, and just try out different beings, try a being that's had a body versus one that hasn't had a body. I mean, I've had moments of being frustrated before, because I work with these dragons. They call themselves, we are the dragon consciousness. We are beyond the threshold of creation, right? Wonderful, fancy, great. Never had a body, right? So every once in a while, I'm like, I need somebody that has had a damn body on this planet, because I'm having some physical issues here, right? So it's fun to sort of like ask around. Animals are really good. In my Patreon this last month, actually, the Yeti and the Sasquatch consciousness came in, and we're talking because they have very similar bodies than to us, and are they're holding a different frequency in a slightly different dimension. So it's all fun, even when it hurts.
It is, and it's interesting because the dragons often remind me that they forget we're human. So, they expect us to like hold all this downloads. And then when we're like, wait, what was that? They're like, oh, we forget. Okay, we forget. And they often ask me to remind them, could you just slow down or back off? Because they will just go for it and give you huge amounts of information.
Yeah, and somebody just wrote in there that our bodies are intelligent and can tell us what they're feeling. Yes, absolutely. We have a whole entire multiverse inside of our bodies, and in my opinion, our Akashic records are actually inside of our bodies, so we don't need to go out there, but out there is in here, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But yes.
Yeah. Body intelligence, that was me. Yeah, it's very powerful.
Oh, that was you. Sorry.
All right, love.
You are right.
Well, we're all mirrors, right? And so
Yeah.
it's just people sharing about the physical idea of feeling and understanding emotional connection. And in my work, there's been huge, remarkable blessings to witness with people around emotion and feelings and their physical reality. And you can really release a lot of physical pain in your body sometimes by knowing how to understand the intelligence of what your body's trying to tell you. So if you can go into it and meet it and work through that, oftentimes you can find a great resolve. And sometimes it's you, sometimes it's your journey with your family and your bloodline, and attachment goes beyond you, and sometimes it goes outside of you, and there's lots of places to go sometimes with that expanded energy, but it all comes back to you in the end, giving it a place to meet yourself. So I love what you're saying. It's all inside of us. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that. It's really true. In my experience, it's all right here at home. We have just a few more minutes, 4 minutes left in your window. Can you believe it? More time. We give you so much here, Dragon Thunder. We want you to be really expressive. So if there's anything else anyone wants to ask or speak to or share?
You're not next, it's Jason. Dina's asking, am I next? No, Jason's next. I'll send you a reminder.
Almost there.
Yeah.
3 minutes. Yeah. Count down. Yeah. 1, 2 more minutes here.
I was going to say, Kelly, I remember last year you and Ashley realizing that you were like close to each other. You're like, oh my God, you're in Oregon. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like you're literally close to each other.
We need to get together.
Are you on the Big Island? You in Hawaii?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if it looks like that because of my pictures, but my family is from Rapa Nui and Tahiti, and so I just have been drawing that in. I'm actually in Oregon, and a few weeks ago I was literally crying over some water, going like, why don't I live on an island? Like, why am I on a mainland? And it's like, there's some stuff I need to work through, but no, I am not. But I am Polynesian, but I am not currently. I've been mainlanded.
You guys spread the vibes, though. I'm sure you're there for a reason. Help bring those good vibes to that area.
That's what I keep.
Where in Oregon are you, Ashley?
Wait, well, where in Oregon? I'm in McMinnville, which is an hour outside of Portland. So you can just include me in with Portland.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're like 4 hours north of me.
Yeah, because you're way out. You're in Ashland, right? Close. Yeah.
We're in the same state. Yeah. But I'm on the southern tip. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, really amazing. Ooh, wow. All right. Well, if you're ever down in Ashland, we'll get together, or vice versa. I'll let you know if I'm coming away.
Yeah, I go down there to hang out. There's some the cactus grows really well out there.
Oh, yeah, we're here with we like our bear dad. He grows the cactus here, Nathan Tinder.
Yeah.
hanging out here with all the mushroom poppers who are here too. So there's a lot of plant medicine people who stir the pot here. And it's a really powerful thing. I'm teaching a lot of them about integration because many people who work with plants, they understand we need to integrate, but they don't always have the map for really doing deep inner work. And a lot of plant people in ancient traditions have lost the codes for that. So those of us who are learning to integrate people are really important right now, especially to plant teachers, because the plants give us the information, but the journey is still in and within us. It's really important to remember that. So powerful. Thank you for coming and sharing.